Hello and welcome back. Happy New Year. It is only the 5th, so I think we can still say that. Today we're going to discuss the 1-1 draw with Chelsea from yesterday. But first, Amorim has been sacked by Manchester United. Yeah, if you think we're having a bad day, go and watch United or Celtic or West Ham. That puts things into perspective. I was going to talk about Celtic, to what Celtic and Rangers is today, but I think talking about United and then onto the Chelsea game is probably best. I never rated this Amorim guy at all. He always seemed to me like Ten Hag in a nice coat, Ten Hag with PR. They had him 14 months ago when they were sixth. 14 months later, he's won less than half the games in charge. He seems like another bell end like Maresca, who I'll come on to later before we talk about the Chelsea game. I just don't think he's a good manager. Simple as that. You can talk about board alignment with Wilcox, transfer strategy, etc. I just don't think he's very good. I think it just comes down to that. But even if he thinks he's a good manager, which I'm sure he does, if you're going to start giving it the bigger, don't do it after a home draw to Wolves and a away draw to Leeds. You got to wait till you're in a position of strength. He's talking about, I want to be the manager, not the head coach. Well, your contract says head coach, buddy. At least that's what it said on the BBC when you were hired. I did go and check. So I don't know where he gets off, really. Talk about, he needs help in the transfer market, maybe. Well, maybe he shouldn't have gone around booting out every half-decent player you had. In terms of Rashford, booting out a young player like Højlund while spending £60 million on another young player like Sesko, who looks a lot of rubbish, quite frankly. So, he has had quite a few bob to spend. You can argue whether it's spent in the right place or the wrong place, but I think by and large, he's got to be doing better, hasn't he? I mean, I know Neville was jumping up and down about how good the 4-all draw with Bournemouth was and how good, scraping 1-0 against Newcastle was, but the reality is their performances have been dreadful by and large. They've drawn homes at West Ham and Everton had 10 players for 75 minutes. They are dreadful, and to me, it didn't show any signs of getting better. I was also reminded of Jim Radcliffe saying 3 more years for Ruben Amorim only a few months ago. But this guy also said that United were going to go bust. So I wouldn't place too much in what he has to say. Darren Fletcher will manage them. As in Ornstein saying that maybe till the end of the summer. I mean, to the summer is January. There's snow on the roof of my car. Why would anyone want to wait till the summer? And I know the market might open and all the rest of it, but you can't wait till the summer, surely, with Darren Fletcher, because you're at risk. I mean, I'm lapping this up, so, I don't feel sorry for them. They're at risk of being bounced into hiring him full-time, like they were bounced into hiring Solskjaer. Let's say, by some miracle, Fletcher gets that mob of players into the top 4. They'll have to hire him, won't they? They'll have to hire him again, and we'll have all the old United players coming out saying such a good job he's doing, and they'll give him a 3-year contract, and it'll rinse and repeat. So let's hope that happens. We're talking about maybe Maresca to them on TalkSport, given the Wilcox and Barada links. I mean, we can only hope, can't we? I mean, that Maresca. I'll come on to it in a minute, but I can't see them being that daft. But I think they might go for Tuchel after the World Cup. I can see that being an avenue that will go down. But when again would Wilcox and Barada be able to work with such a strong personality, and will he agree to United's terms, and will they go down the Chelsea route of getting some young yes man in? I don't know, but you look at these models, United and Blue Coat, Chelsea, and whilst you might want to disagree with it, maybe they have overcorrected, but their view is we cannot have a single point of failure in a manager. We can't go back to the days of Harry Redknapp signing his mates, and then when he gets a nice opportunity, blumbering the club with a massive wage bill. So there has to be some structure in who you sign, when you sign, and how you sign these players, and the type of manager you bring in and the structure around it. Maybe, Radcliffe and Bluco have overcorrected a little bit. They've gone too far in one direction. or maybe they're going in the right direction. They just hired shit managers. I don't know. I suppose this model will take a few years to run. But if you're United, I think you just hired a bad manager. I think you've had a bad manager. I think you've got bad players. And fucking long may it continue. So yeah, I'll be tuning into the Stretford paddock and all the rest of it for the rest of the day, and seeing what's going on. But it's all good fun what's going on over there, isn't it? I mean, drawing home to Wolves. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, that's been a sackable offence on its own. Anyway, on to Chelsea at home. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about. I thought we were okay going into this game. We beat Forest, tick, thank you very much. Drawn with Sunderland, fine. I'm fine on the strength that you beat Chelsea at home, right? And I'm thinking, we've done all right there. Beat Forest, played reasonably well. From what I only saw half, I went to the pantomime at half time. And Sunderland, I thought did okay. Probably should have scored, but no real complaints. Savio missed a couple, but that's part of the course, isn't it? But I think overall happy with the festive period. So on to Chelsea, and I don't rate them anyway at all. Never mind them without a manager. So I didn't really see any problems. I mean, what I did find rather annoying though in the run up to the game was the Chelsea fans belly aching about sacking Maresca, and it's very similar to the Amorim situation. I mean, the guy just a bell end. You're happy to sign up for these terms and conditions when you think going to United or going to Chelsea is seen as an opportunity for you. And then you win a couple of, in certain Maresca's case, a couple of second-rate trophies. And now he wants to change the terms and conditions. Right, well, all right then. We'll do that in private. Don't do it in public. I mean, I don't know who he thinks he is. I mean, they got even Leicester. Leicester limped over the line, get Leicester promoted. The Leicester fans had enough of it. So he gets promoted. And starts going on, I've been talking to Juve and City. Forget about it. Give me your contract or I might go there. Get out of it. Get up the road. No, I can't be dealing with it. And the idea of him being City's next manager in particular, I mean, is for the birds. If you ask me, he's more likely to be managing Saudi Arabia or Seville's manager than he is at City. I mean, he did a reasonable job, didn't he? He did what he was expected to do, win the Conference League. All right, great. Finished fourth or fifth, whatever it was, at Chelsea. All right, great. Anyone who's reasonable can do that. They don't need him bellyache every 2 minutes about wanting this and wanting that, or he might go here, he might go there. Hiring a new agent to sort himself out a new opportunity. Forget it. City don't need that headache. Any big club don't need that headache. But he's at Chelsea. I mean, where's he think he's going to go? I don't know. So I didn't understand the Chelsea fan belly aching about it. Yeah, their owners might be a bit painful and a bit hard work and not really identify where the club needs strengthening, but they can do without him. I mean, whether Liam Senior's a better option, who knows? But I suppose we'll see from there. But going into the game, I was thinking, like I said, did well over Christmas. Arsenal won at the weekend. We need to keep the pressure on, and we didn't really do that, did we? The team came out. I'll go through the team shortly. The team came out, didn't have any width, and you think, here we go. But we'll fly at them. We'll fly at them. They haven't got a manager. They've got someone whose name I can't remember as a manager for the day. What could possibly go wrong? Well, I'll tell you what can go wrong. When you don't bother going forward, when you leave the first 10 minutes just to let Chelsea settle in, we didn't put them under pressure. Their centre-halves are bad. The goalkeeper's bad. The first choice goalkeeper's bad. The second choice one they got in net is even worse. And they haven't got any worthwhile midfielders, really. Casado's injured. Enzo's all right. Reece James, whilst had a good game, and got away with fucking murder. But he's certainly not a top draw centre midfielder that we should have to worry about. And I was thinking, that's stuck into them here. Fly into them. And no, it dragged on. And then they got into a few half chances. Estevan had a couple of half chances. And then we eventually get RC in gear after about half an hour. Score, and you think, right, here we go again. But then Foden missed a couple, Haaland missed one, hit the post another, which is a good effort. But in terms of sustaining attacks and creating opportunities, I thought we struggled in that first half, really. But half time, it's 1-0, happy days. They make a couple of changes, and then we give them confidence, don't we? We give them confidence by not playing very well, sort of having half chances on the break, but not making the most of them. And they're thinking, right, hold on, we could do something here. And they did in the end, ultimately, didn't it? I thought it was coming. I thought a draw was probably a fair result, all things considered. I mean, if you want to be that bad going forward, then these things are going to happen. You're in the Premier League of 1-0 up after 30 odd minutes. That means you've got to last an hour without the other team scoring in the Premier League. It's a long time, that. And if you're going to wasteful as we are, things like what happened at the end can happen. Yeah, I know O'Reilly got done for the goal, but that shouldn't be the end of the world, should it? You know, they've got to play defenders back, but they got men in the box. And what happened. And overall, it's a pretty disappointing day at the office, and a disappointing result. But being 6 points behind on the 5th of Jan I don't think it's the end of the world. The end of the world, that is it. You know, we've got to play Arsenal at home. We're going to beat them. So let's call it 3 points, and then we've got to match them and hope they slip up. But we've got Semenyo coming in by the looks of things, and hopefully one or two others, as I'll come on to shortly. Well, from a performance perspective, I didn't like it. I don't like it when we played like that at all. But I thought we clearly had problems with the selection. I mean, Docky played well when he came against Sunderland, so why didn't he start? Are they worried about him being injured? But he looked that way because he didn't want to come on, did he? So maybe he's struggling as well. So that game raised a lot of questions at the start, and I think we've got even more questions at the end. And where does it leave us? I think it leaves us. I think we're all right. But we'll go through the starting 11 and talk about performances. Donnarumma started. I thought he did okay. I mean, he struggled with short passes, doesn't he? You know, in terms of the intricacy. And I think when you get rid of Edison, you need someone like Stones in there. With Stones being unavailable, it does create a bit of a clunky build-up at times. But his long kicks up to Haaland were good. Thought they created opportunities for us. He made one or two decent saves, but he got his hand to the goal the first time, which, I mean, that won't go commented on really, but that was a ridiculous save. That if he'd have managed to keep that out, then, talking about one of the saves of the season. So yeah, I thought it was good. Like caught things, didn't much punching, maybe didn't have to. But yeah, I thought Donnarumma did a good job. Not else to say really. Nunes, he is what he is, solid enough, no help. Really, Cherki will come on to him in a bit. But yeah, good. Gvardiol, goodish. I thought that was all right. I was hoping he'd play left back actually, and give O'Reilly a rest. Maybe play Ake in centre defence like he played against Sunderland. But I think there must be something up with Ake. Because Gvardiol come off. Gvardiol's the left centre back. He's come off. Kusanov's the next came off the rank really. Which where's he come from? He's not played for weeks. And then when Diaz goes off, then Ake comes on and Ake goes to left centre back. So it all seemed a bit like they were a little bit worried whether to bring Ake on or not. I hope that's not the case. But I thought both of those, Diaz and Gvardiol, were okay. But when you're carrying Ake and Stones as your two other senior centre backs, you're running a big risk that one or both are not going to be available. And I think we are now at that stage. When Gvardiol come off, Pep said doesn't look good. Diaz, I don't know, but even if it's 2 weeks, even if it's 2 weeks at this stage of the season, how many of those games is Ake going to manage to play without getting injured? How many games is Kuzno going to play without potentially getting suspended? You know, I can see a world I don't want to see, but it will involve Rodgers or Nico Gonzalez playing centre half in the next 2 to 3 weeks, which I think is going to be catastrophic. It might go out against Exeter, fingers crossed. But outside of that, I think we're going to struggle. But both starting centre halves, I thought did all right. O'Reilly started. I didn't really want him to start, but he did. I thought it looked okay. He looked tired. Did against Sunderland. He got done for their goal, but he had just been injured just before that, hadn't he? And he either got pulled up or got up. But I can't remember. But he didn't look right. And he got turned over by Gusto, didn't he? I like that Gusto. But yeah, he just looked another game too far for him. But here we go again. You know, Aït-Nouri's at AFCON. Ake has to play centre back now. This is why we had to play Aït-Nouri before AFCON. And I know he looked shite against Leverkusen. And I know he looked shite against Brighton. In fact, he looked shite against most teams he played. But he's got to play. He's got to play, hasn't he? He's got to play, but now he can't. And now we've got a 20-year-old kid at left back who's exhausted and will be targeted, I imagine, by opposition for no fault of his own, just through poor sort of rotation, poor planning as well, which is disappointing. Because I don't want all his hard work to sort of get his confidence knocked, because he's got the lot, and we need. I'll go back to it. We need to go into the market today. Rodgers, class apart, wonderful, but here we go again, isn't it? Here we go again. Coming against Sunderland because Nico Gonzalez got injured, so he's got to play all the game today, all the game yesterday. 96 minutes, high intensity, getting kicked by Reece James left, right, and centre. By the way, going murder, and he'll have to play against Brighton. And here we go again. So you're injured. So you're injured. You know, here we go again. I mean, if I was in, I'd be doing my nut. If he's sat injured for 18 months, we've got one bloke to replace him. One. Kovacic's injured. Kovacic's walked into the season injured. Gundogan walked out the door. We've got Nico Gonzalez. That's it. Because Reinders can't play there. Reinders can't play at all. So I just feel really disappointed with how we've left Rodri and Nico Gonzalez out in the lurch, really. Bernardo, I liked his performance. I listened to podcasts after the game. We were saying he was no good, rubbish, passed it, Pep loves him. Well, yeah, he does. But I liked him yesterday. I thought, all right, of course he's not creative on the wings. Of course he's. But what he is, puts 100% effort in. He very rarely gives the ball away. He knows to wind the opponents up, and he likes to tackle. And if half the rest of them did that, we wouldn't have had a problem yesterday. But we did. And we'll come on to them shortly. I'll leave two negatives out. I'll go to semi-positive next. Reinders. Didn't really want to see him start, but he did. Scored. I thought his goal was amazing, by the way. If you look at that slow motion, his footwork, woof, out of this world. Great finish. I'm not blaming the keeper for that. I know the keeper's shit, but no keeper's saying that. It was wonderful. Well, Donnarumma, man, but not many. It was a great goal. But then, poof, never see him again. This is the game. And I mean, Neville giving man of the match. I mean, doesn't make you wonder how it never worked out with Valencia, doesn't it? If he given him man of the match, he didn't do anything. How did? Of course. But the amount of time he was run off him, and that's why Rodri, Nico Gonzalez, and the defence struggles, because he can't run back. No, he's not a strong runner back. He'll brush him off. And once they're gone, they're gone. They're finished. They're away. So again, not strong enough, is he? Not big enough, not impactful enough. Less his goal. But saying that, there were at least two players who were much, much worse. I'll come on to the one who I think was a little less shit than the other one. Foden. I don't like slagging Foden off. I hate slagging Foden off. I love the guy. But, I mean, you've got to go some for me, it's like Foden off. But that was fucking bad. Phil, that was bad. Give the ball away 16 times I read yesterday. 16. Now I know you position player, you're going to give it away a few times, trying to force passes and whatnot. You know, I suppose that's a price on the ticket, but Jesus Christ. I mean, the shot in the first half, I'm not saying you've got to go in. I'm saying you've got to do better. The right foot one off the corner, which he swung at. These things happen. Second half, that just passed to Cherki. Just passes to Cherki. But no, tried to pass to Haaland. Never on. He was one with the two defenders he's taken away, and he tried to bleed. Oh, no, never on. Bad. But in midfield as well, you know, he wasn't holding up properly. A few nice flicks, but a few bad ones as well. So, I don't know. Do you drop him? Do you give him a rest? Is he another one that's been played to death and we need to give him a break? Maybe. I think there's probably something in that. Yeah, there probably is something in that, isn't there? That he's just been played too much again, all over the place. Maybe stick him on the wing and Bernardo in midfield. I don't know. But you can't continue to play like that. I've had it. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts on Phil. Let me know who's worse. Let me know who you think was worse, Foden or Cherki. Put in the comments below. So I'm going to talk about Cherki now. I thought it was shite, quite frankly. I thought it was close to a fucking disgrace, to be honest with you. It was really bad. Now, this isn't me saying, you know, he's rubbish and writing him off. I'm saying, if you're playing Chelsea at home, we are struggling. Defenders are dropping like flies. The midfielder has just come back from an 18-month layoff. You, up front, don't give the ball away 27 times. When you get an opportunity to shoot properly. When you got an opportunity to cross or pass properly. We're not in the fucking circus, juggling, stepping over, and doing all the rest of it. Time and a place for that. You know, do your boners against Sunderland or fucking West Ham or whoever else it happens to be. But teams with half decent, serious outfits, you can't be giving the ball away like that. And certainly not that regularly. I mean, oh my days, that pass to Bernardo. What's that about? Slow, behind him. Fucking rubbish. I mean, listen, he's 21, 22. There's a long way to go. But people talk about him in the same breath of Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva. I mean, come on. I mean, maybe we'll be one day. But that day's a long way away at the moment. There's nowhere near now. So, you know, maybe drop him. Maybe someone needs dropping. There's got to be consequences for the forward players to play like that. We need the big players to stand up when the defence is struggling. And they didn't. Haaland, he mixed bag for him, I thought. He didn't score. I thought he was shite against Sunderland. I thought he was rubbish. I thought not his fault. I just thought their defenders had the better of him, and it was just one of those games. You know, I wasn't reading too much into it, like, you know, his body language or his shoulders or whatever, however else these people want to characterize his thought process. But I thought it was okay. I thought one shot in the first half was naff. I thought the one that hit the post was brilliant. I thought he ran to the halfway line yesterday. But he needs a goal. He needs a goal in games like that. I mean, big players to stand up. The defence is struggling. So we need the big boys to stand up. And unfortunately, they didn't yesterday, did they? And if your big players don't stand up, like look at Arsenal, Declan Rice, 2 goals. Boom. There you go. Won the game. Our big players. What they do? Get the ball away nearly 40 times between them, that's what. So yeah, it was disappointing. And, you know, when Doku came on, you hope he was going to change the game, but he didn't really do much either, did he? First thing he did was dribble it out of play. You know, not a great start, was it? But is he right? Is he right? Am I going to say those words? Could we have done with Savinho? I doubt it. I mean, if Savinho threw in that performance Cherki did, Jesus Christ, it would have been invading the pitch, I think. So, Cherki needs to do much, much better. But I'll touch on the subs, Kusanov and Ake, actually, because I thought they deserve mention, particularly Kusanov. That came in for Ake, I thought was interesting. Maybe I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a gob on a stick. But I think him coming on must show that they don't want Ake. We're winning 1-0 against Chelsea. Why are you bringing Kusanov on if you have 100% faith in Ake? I don't know. So Kusanov come on. I thought he was excellent. Like, his pace was good. His passing was good. Thought he handled the lap reasonably well until that dirty bastard threw him into the advertising boards. While I'm on to that, how is throwing someone into advertising boards a yellow card and Nunes argued with Enzo Fernandez in the same incident a yellow card? One is obviously dangerous. The other isn't. Can someone explain that to me, please? Put that in the comments below if any referees are watching. I'm not one to bang on about referees. I'm really not. But Reece James and that Cole Palmer tackle, foul on Grady on the first half, was obvious Bucky let us see. What he's thinking of. But yeah, Kusanov, particularly his long and accurate passes to Haaland, I thought they were really good to get us out of stun sometimes. And yeah, I want to see him play more often. I like the guy. I really do. He just needs to play more. But not when we're in the shit. Not like, oh, we're in the trouble here. We need to get Kusanov. No, he should be just playing as a normal squad player, not some smash this glass here and he needs to play. Ake, I've loved Ake over the years, but he's slow, isn't he? He's slow and likely to be injured at some point. So, good against Sunderland. We didn't start this season, did he? Why not? He can't play 2 games in a trot. Well, he's going to have to now, isn't he? Or, like I said, we're going to end up in a world where Nico Gonzalez and Rodri are playing centre-half for Manchester City. We're trying to win the league and the Champions League. And we're going to go with those. We'll have to resort to that at some point if we don't go into the market. I mean, we must go into the market, surely. Surely. Yeah. How can we not? Excuse me. How can we not go into the market? Semenyo, tick. Yeah, we're going to get him anyway, tick. We need a centre-back. There's no ifs, no buts. We need a centre-back. Mark Gay is there, right? Listen, maybe he wants to bag at the end of the season. Maybe he wants a massive whack of a transfer fee. I'd go and knock on his door and find out. I'd go and knock on Palace's door and see what they'd accept, because they can make life very uncomfortable for him if they say, actually, I've got 40 million quid here, Mark. You're not playing unless you go there. And we've got a vacancy as well. So the idea that he's going to come here and be second behind Diaz or second behind Guardiola isn't the case anymore. We have a vacancy at centre-half. And when Grado comes back, Grado can go left back, give Nico O'Reilly a couple of weeks rest. And then they could figure it out after that. So I'm not having that, but we're full at the back. And listen, yeah, there may be something along the lines of Champions League registered squad, Premier League registered squad, maybe something in that. Well, if that's the case, then we need to put the for sale sign up then, don't we, on a few of them. Calvin Phillips, I don't know what his status is. Rico Lewis, right? I quite like the guy. I think he's played well. I think he'd do well for us. The manager disagrees, clearly. So, for sale. Opening bids at 25 million. Let's go from there. Oscar Bob. Don't really see what the fuss is about with this guy. Yeah, he looks neat and tidy. Yeah, he scored a good goal against Newcastle 2 years ago. 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Not recently, not the other week. 2 years ago. That's it. So listen, yeah, it might be good. It might be neat and tidy. You might be able to play well for Leverkusen or Borussia Dortmund or fucking Brighton, whoever it happens to be. But they're not trying to win the league, are they? They're not trying to win the Champions League. So off you go, Oscar. Have a nice career. Boom, for sale. Off you go. Savio. Boom, for sale. Off you go. We need to make room for centre-back. Make room for centre-back because we need one. And while we're at it, I think we need a centre midfield player as well. Rodri cannot continue to play until he gets injured again. Nico Gonzalez cannot continue to play until he gets injured again. Go and get a centre midfield player. Now, Elliot Anderson is probably not for sale, right, during this window, right? He probably isn't. But you can go and find out. You can go and knock on his door, can't you? Knock on his agent's door, knock on his door, knock on Forest's door, take it from there. Adam Wharton, we'll take you and Mark Gay as a job block. But failing that, there is no money in Europe. They're all skint. Go and have a look at the TV revenues in Europe. There's more or less zero. Every midfield player in Europe is for sale within reason, outside of Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. Everyone will be for sale. So go and get someone, anyone. We need someone. We can't run these players into the ground like this. And I know Pep talks about small squads and all the rest of it. Well, sorry, Pep. We've got a problem here, and it's a big problem. And small squads don't cut it now when you've got to play 60 games. We've got the Club World Cup at the back of us. We've got the International World Cup in front of us, providing the USA don't invade anybody else. Fingers crossed they don't. But we can't work on the basis that the US will invade people and the World Cup's going to be cancelled. So let's work on the basis that the World Cup is going to happen. There's no time for resting in small squad. We need bodies. We need people. And I'm not having this. Sorry, let's recall Victor Hayes. Let's recall Barr. I mean, Barr might be good for Brentford, and he might be good for us because we haven't got anyone else. But that's not the standard we're looking for, is it? We're not looking for, are they better than no one? Are they better than an Indian Ake? It's, are they better than, or can they compete with some of the best in Europe? And I don't think Barr can, and I don't think Victor Hayes can. Certainly at the moment. We call it ill from, what's Simpson Poozy doing? He can't get him at Celtic. Get him back. Come on. You're going to spend a dough in the summer anyway. Yeah, it might be a cash flow issue, but that's what banks and invoice discounts are for, aren't they? So, yeah, go get around in your pocket, Viana. I'm not one for panic buys, by the way. I'm not saying, buy anyone. Well, sort of I'm in midfield. We need anyone. And we sort of are. But they're there to be bought, aren't they? Go and pick someone. Go and get them. Yeah, you'll have to pay over the odds, but do you pay over the odds for Marmouche? Maybe not. Do you pay over the odds for Kusanov? Don't think so. Who else are we getting this summer? Over the odds for Neil Gonzalez? Probably not. So just do that again. Go and find a £6 million midfielder in Germany. Go and find a £6 million midfielder in Portugal. Can't be that hard, can it? Or maybe it is. It fucking shouldn't be, because it shouldn't be that hard, should it? You must have a list of anyway, I'm going off on one now. I'm going off on one. So, okay, thank you for joining. To summarise, the results was bad, but not the end of the world. Injuries are the end of the world unless we go into the market and resolve them, because the solutions are not within the squad, are they? The solutions are external. So make the external internal sharpish. Right, okay. Thanks for joining. Please like and subscribe. And yes, if you haven't noticed, my voice isn't great. I've been ill over the last few days. But all things being equal, I'll be back for a preview of the Brighton game. So that'll be tomorrow or Wednesday morning. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm not on Twitter, so feel free to share it on there. Well, thank you. Please, like I said, tell a friend, and hit the subscribe button. Take care and see you soon.